The visit to St. Anne's was a very interesting one. The church was packed, and it seemed like a fairly vibrant community of people who had come to worship together.
When we were at Mass, that's when it actually hit me. It was in the middle of Mass. It wasn't even at the end when we were talking to the different people. But the first couple of days, I know a lot of people are in shock, and I was in shock too, but I just kind of went about what we had to do and just took whatever our time schedule was, that's what I did. But I guess sitting in Mass was the first time I was reflecting personally, and then just seeing and being surrounded by all these people that were affected by it, that's when I got overwhelmed and my eyes kind of filled with water. And then at the end, getting to actually hear people's stories, that's what really hit me.
Now, they knew we were coming, so that may have been one reason there was sort of this lively sense in the church. And the fact that Father Anthony said the Mass probably also added a little bit to that. But there was the joining of hands, there was the singing, there was the sense, if you just lived that moment inside the church, that everything was okay. When the Mass was ended, the parishioners were told that we were going to go outside, and we would be available to speak with them, to talk with them about what their needs were, and to see if there were any particular ways in which we might be able to assist them. Our students made themselves very generous, talking around and walking and listening to the stories of the people who came out of the church. Donna had her pad out and was writing down the names and the addresses and the wishes of the various people who came up and spoke to her. There was a sense of community there.
From St. Anne's, we went to a neighborhood, and the neighborhood, it seemed like a brand new housing development before Katrina had hit. We walked into a house down there that hadn't been touched since the hurricane.
This boy has not come back yet. And this will give you an idea of what we had in our house when you see this house.
Wow. So it's still the way it was when...
It's the way it was the day the storm came.
Jeez. Steve and I walked in there together, and we were one of the few people who actually walked into the house.
This is what mine looked like. See how far the water came in?
And we got chills as soon as we walked in. I know I did. My hair stood right up because nothing had been touched.
How long did it take you to clean up your house?
It took us, I guess, about 7 days to clean it.
There was caked mud on the floor. There was a refrigerator in a dining area. There was a plasma screen TV that was busted. All these things that at home or here, and apparently there as well, we all take for granted until things like this happen.
It's crazy.
Oh, we had wonderful neighbors. This is what's left. They're okay. They're okay, but they're not. I don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to come back or.
Did they just go to another state?
Yeah, they went to Louisiana. Their family's there, and but this is their home. This is
Have they
what's
been
left of
back to see it since?
Right when the storm came through, but they haven't been back since. You can go to our parish and you can look at the people and you can see that they're worn out. They're just they're devastated. And you can go up north and you look at people and they look so refreshed, and because you just, it's a non-stop. You get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you go to work, you come home and you work till it's time to go to bed. We're about a mile, maybe a mile and a half from the water. This area in the back, there's swamp area, and I'm not sure if some of this that came in wasn't from more the swamp that brought it in. And this lady's coming back, and she just recently, I think, settled with some of her insurance, and she's going to be coming back.
So the first step, when you come back to a place like
Your first step
this...
is to gut your house and to spray it. It's a process that you have to do, a 3-phase process on killing the mold. And I think they're probably ready to start the mold process now. And then you have to let it dry. And then you start rebuilding your life.
Wow.
Which is practically rebuilding your whole home. You have to.
And we walked outside and we saw an area where a small tornado had hit, as we were told. 2 houses had been completely just demolished. All that was left was a cement block where their foundation was. The house next to that, where apparently the tornado died down, the house was half demolished and on top of a red truck.